The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. That is a true statement by Alvin Toffler, writer and futurist, author of Future Shock. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and yes, it is all very well for writers and futurists to go about declaring who the illiterate of the 21st century would be. They have a right to protect. But such irresponsible statements really sometimes tend to create major upheavals in otherwise harmonious homes. My wife, may God bless her generous soul, takes these things very seriously. Happy birthday to you, she crooned at the stroke of midnight and placed in my hands a smartphone. I do not like smartphones. Actually, I do not like smart anything. I like dumb. The dumber they are, the better I like them. For quite some years now, I have been using a smartphone. A dumb phone. Mainly because its software and my hardware are perfectly compatible with each other. See, I can receive calls. I can also, with a little bit of effort, make some calls. At least those that are on speed dial. So I explained to her the futility while she was telling me about the utility of smartphones. Hasnain, the entire world is using smartphones as a mini computer. Imagine this thing could take your business up to the next level. This baby, this has got 2 gigahertz microprocessor. It's got 2 GB of RAM and it's got 64 GB external SD slot. It's got an 8 megapixels camera with flash and this and that. It's got wireless connectivity through Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and the USB 2.0. And for the operating system, I have chosen ice cream sandwich over jelly bean because both of them are on the same Android 4.2 platform. How's that? How's that? I said, yeah, that's great. It's fantastic. I love ice cream. I was never very fond of jelly beans anyway. Did you get for me mango? The truth is, by the time I learn, unlearn, and relearn, it could be time for me to say goodbye. Lord, how I miss the good old days. My father would instruct me, follow up on Metro's payment, and I would take out the thick black book containing telephone numbers, and then I would go to my phone, spend the next few minutes tapping on the earpiece and blowing at the mouthpiece, and then press the bar a few times until yes, you got a dial tone. See, you needed to have very thick fingers in those days for these rotary dialers. But even the toughest would eventually have to use a pencil. Because it would be very rare that both the caller and the call would have telephones that work at the same time. An entire morning could very pleasantly be spent in trying to crack that elusive letter. The switchboard operator would probably be manned by a Sandra from Bandra, who would be trying her very best not to socialize with the local chokras. I mean, not the neighboring boys. But on the second and fourth Saturday, she would be a little less coy and would say, "What? Man, I already told you, no man. The boss is on tour. Look, I've got to catch that 123 from Churchgate and you're eating my head up, calling. Yeah, man, I'm telling you that you called." Even back then, it seemed too good to last. Change, they say, is the only constant in life. You take your eyes off the world for a moment and what happens? It changes. The real challenge lies not in coping with the change per se, but in dealing with the accelerated pace of change. Things are happening just too fast. Are we still on the same page? When the pager happened, it was an earth-shattering event. My wife would now get up close and personal with me at any time. I would carry a fistful of coins, and whenever this pager beeped, I would drop whatever it is I was doing, look very important, and rush to the nearest telephone booth. Hello, yeah, what happened? Why did you page me? Hi! When you're coming home, get bread and cheese, okay? And smile. Bye! And I thought she was missing. But the pager was very cute. It was a small black box dog with a dangling chain that bound you, a human on a leash. The cellular phone further reinforced the chains that bound me, the slave to the master. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Eventually, I did learn the fine art of receiving and making calls, and I would especially love it when that Sandra was frozen in time until then comes back to life and tells me, your balance is too low to make this call. To know your best recharge, press 1. To continue in English, press 2. To talk to an operator, please disconnect. And now, this novel over smartphone, which I need to outsmart. See, they say, use it or you lose it. So I think, my wife feels that if I don't use my brain, I'm going to lose it. I suspect that the reason that she gives me these geeky gizmos is to save me from Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and there's one more disease whose name I forgot. Yeah, dementia. Change, Mr. Alvin Toffler, is not the only constant in life. My wife's love for me is. So if you will now excuse me, I have this overwhelming desire to rush home and embrace technology. Back to you.